First order of business, motherfuckers. Happy belated birthday to the world's strongest man, Mark motherfucking Henry. And I saw your birthday cake, dog. Got me so excited I'm licking myself. I happened to notice it was in the shape of a cheeseburger. Yeah, just wonder if you was gonna send any of that my way, dog. Anyways, on to the second matter at hand, and that is, why the fuck Sheamus gotta be on the pre-show? Actually, I'm still thinking about that cheeseburger cake. That sound real good right about now. Why Sheamus gotta be on a pre-show? This some straight up racist bullshit. You wanna know my thoughts on his match with Damien Sandow? Bro kick 1, 2, 3, motherfucker. Yeah. Mark Henry, happy birthday, dog. I'm serious about wanting some of that cheeseburger cake, though.
So after a very successful pay-per-view venture last time around for the Shield, where they won both the tag team titles and the U.S. title, now this time around they're defending the belts. You got the U.S. title match is Kane versus Dean Ambrose, and a little bit of a different thing here. You've got Orton and Daniel Bryan taking on Rollins and Reigns for the tag team titles. Which match you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about Kane and Ambrose.
Okay, well, you brought him up, so you're going to talk about him.
It feels like this was very just kind of thrown together randomly at the end there. I don't really see Kane putting up too much of a battle for the U.S. Championship. I don't see Kane getting the belt. I see Ambrose carrying it for a while.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if there was anything other than Ambrose winning via pinfall victory here. You could get some type of squirrely finish that would continue this as a feud. I'm a little surprised that they're having Orton and Bryan go for the tag titles here, just because if they are thinking about splitting off Daniel Bryan as a heel because they're going to get him ready to go against John Cena, and they're not going to probably keep him face if he's going against John Cena, you would think it would make more sense at this point to have Kane be the person that he would turn on. They were only tag team champions for several months, and there's a lot of story where that would make sense.
Unless we're getting a swerve and they're going to turn Orton heel, please let that be what's happening. But honestly, it's got to be Daniel Bryan turning heel because, like you said, he's going against Cena.
You know, I'll put it this way. The sadist in me says this. If the WWE is going to insist upon giving us the ultimate John Cena ramming down our fucking throats, then I hope they turn Orton heel here. I hope they get him built up. And that they give us John Cena versus Randy Orton in a feud for all times. And I mean matches every week on Raw and SmackDown because you fucking deserve it. Matches on every pay-per-view. At least a 6-month feud here I'm talking about.
Oh, God. We could at least go a year.
Let's not get too carried away.
We can make a best-of DVD then.
They should already have a best-of DVD.
Anyways, I think that both these matches, the Shield retains their belts.
Unless we get some type of squirrely finish or turn. Who's turning heel? Orton, Bryan, or neither one of them?
I want Orton, but I'm going to say Bryan.
I'll go with Daniel Bryan turning, I suppose.
Which makes total sense because the crowd loves him.
We got a Divas title match that actually seems to have at least a little bit of a purpose for being on this card. This whole Caitlyn Secret Admirer thing was a plot device for several weeks that really led to this match, you know, having some meaning behind it, having some reason. AJ challenging Caitlyn. Do you actually care about this match, though? Do you care about
I don't care about this feud at all, but I do appreciate the fact that they actually put Caitlyn on TV, so I gave a little bit of a shit about her as a Diva Champion instead of just putting her in the match with AJ, who's always featured on TV, almost too much. Almost? No. Too much. And so, at least she's going against somebody that I've seen on TV.
When I look at AJ Lee, you've got a kind of every girl, kind of video game nerd, that seems to scream out to me the kind of misunderstood, all-American next-door neighbor girl babyface. So, of course, this idiotic company and their idiotic creative have decided to make her a psycho slut heel.
That makes sense.
To me, if I'm looking at a character, and there are several examples, but if I'm looking for a character that epitomizes the WWE being out of touch and not understanding what's what, to me, I look at AJ Lee and I see a girl with so much potential to be a huge babyface star for that company.
Exactly. You got your geek girls that would be into it because they're being represented on TV. You got the geek guys who are like, she's hot.
Yeah, I mean, like Daniel Parker.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, everybody loves a 14-year-old girl, right, Mr. Park? On to the next match. Our next match we're going to discuss seems to us on the surface to be the match that will have the best chance of producing a big surprise or a big swerve or something memorable, and that's Chris Jericho versus CM Punk.
It's the only match on the card that I can't say is predictable. I mean, I really don't know what the outcome is for this.
Yeah, this is, even though it's a match we've seen before, and on the surface, I don't really see the point of this match if you're looking at it from a storyline standpoint, because Punk clearly beat Jericho more than once in 2012, clearly establishing he's the best in the world. But you look at it now, and you say, what is going to happen here? This is, something that seems to be very much a toss-up. You could have CM Punk just come back and win, and stay a heel and just be back with Heyman.
You could have him not show up at all
in his hometown, but then that might not be necessarily a popular decision. You could have just Chris Jericho go over him 100% clean because CM Punk's been gone a while, which would seem to make sense. Jericho's been wrestling, Punk hasn't. And then somebody, of course, would say, well, Rock beat Cena at WrestleMania 28, to which I have no response at all. But I'm just saying, when you look at this match, there seems to be a lot of possibilities. You could maybe have, this is where Lesnar or Axel gets involved and costs CM Punk the match. Maybe Heyman actually turns on CM Punk.
Exactly. It's a chance where you could turn Punk face if you wanted to, but knowing this company, that won't happen.
They'll continue to want to fight the grain and take one of their most popular performers and try and force him down your throat as a heel, where they're trying to force you to boo him. So as a result, you try to cheer him more because you're resenting how he's being presented, because you're calling bullshit on it. This could be very interesting. If there's one thing that I am actually looking forward to on this pay-per-view, it will be how this is going to be done, because this could be something that actually gives us some potential intrigue for the rest of the summer, especially heading into SummerSlam in a couple of months. Or, like you said, this could just be Punk comes back, he wins, they don't do anything, and it's fucking boring business as usual, and they try to keep him a heel. And chances that Jericho gets a big heel reaction wrestling Punk in Punk's hometown if Punk actually wrestles him.
I think he'll get a big reaction. I'm not sure if it'll necessarily be boos or anything. I think it's going to be split, honestly.
I think the only way that he'd probably get booed is if he actually beats Punk.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. This is the match to us, though, that has the most intrigue, but not necessarily because of the actual match itself. I've seen it. I don't care to see it one way or another again. But the finish to me, or the way this is set up and the way it's booked, to me is everything with this particular match.
I hope Jericho goes over clean on Punk, honestly.
So at least the IC title is on this card. And the ironic thing is, you look at Payback, this almost feels like it should be Night of Champions, because all 6 of the belts are actually being defended on this show. Curtis Axel replacing Fandango, Miz, and Wade Barrett the champ. Was Fandango's injury legit or just a work to get Axel in this?
Either way, it was important to get Axel on this card. You've been building him up with this rocket ship up his ass, like you've said. You need him on the pay-per-view. You need him to feel like a big deal. And honestly, he needs a clean win on this pay-per-view.
He should. You either do one or two things here. You either have the Miz pin Wade Barrett and win the belt, and then Axel chases after him. Or the other way they seem to be setting it up is that Axel wins here by either pinning the Miz or Wade Barrett, and then you have Axel feud with the Miz, and maybe this is their excuse to split off Wade Barrett because maybe they're getting ready to win Money in the Bank. But when you put this much of a rocket ship up a guy's ass, to me, you always have to kind of, follow through. You have to keep going, and the best way to do that at this point is to put the belt on Curtis Axel. So that's what they should do. I'm pretty confident that's what they're going to do come Sunday, because Vince seems to be pretty behind this. When you're an Attitude Era star and a movie star, and you come back on a part-time basis, and you become the WWE champion, and you don't defend the belt in 30 days, most of the internet is up in arms about it. But can you imagine my complete and total lack of surprise? When it's been almost 2 months, I believe it is, since Dolph Ziggler last defended the World Heavyweight Championship, and that's right, you hear crickets from the same people that were bitching about The Rock.
Oh, but he was hurt.
Oh, imagine that.
Excuses.
Predictable as fuck. And I love you guys for it. The bottom line is, I don't give a shit about this World Heavyweight Championship match. I don't give a shit about Alberto Del Rio. And as far as Dolph Ziggler goes, we kind of lost touch with him as a World Heavyweight Champion because I'm glad that he got hurt, that they're trying to take more care with concussions and, being more mindful of not rushing him back too soon, and that's great. But couldn't we have had him do some more like pre-recorded interviews or some stuff like showing him going through the testing or something?
Some updates just to keep him relevant in our minds, to remind us that, yes, Dolph Ziggler's coming back and he has the belt.
Well, let's hope that this is at least a solid World Heavyweight Championship match on the card Sunday, and that Dolph Ziggler goes over here 100% clean, no bullshit. It took a long time for him to cash in the Money in the Bank, and just as his world title reign was getting started, it got kind of derailed and sidetracked. They need to get back on the right track with him. He deserves a chance to at least have a solid reign as a champion. So you could restart that progress here by having him beat Alberto Del Rio clean. But the chances that they do that?
I hope so. But I'm not betting on it.
I'm just thinking about this. If you thought things like the Reign of Terror of God in like 2002, 2003, if you thought that was bad, you thought the Reign of Terror of Cena in like 2006 and 2007 was bad. Oh, baby. 2013.
It's all about getting Cena his signature moments. It all starts here.
Before it's all said and done, he's going to have 17 world title reigns. It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Vince is going to say, up yours, Ric Flair. 16 my ass. We're giving Cena a full legit 17. It's coming. The 3 stages of hell. I was looking back and I'm trying to remember what pay-per-view it was, but I think it was, you guys correct me, whatever it was or who it was, but I think it was like Triple H and Shawn Michaels had a 3 stages of hell. And there was like maybe a ladder match and a steel cage match and something like that. Things that actually seem to be, 3 stages.
Progressively, it gets worse.
Yeah, exactly. Not, we're going to have a lumberjack match, and then we're going to have a table match, and then we're going to have an ambulance match.
The nice thing is, at least we'll get to see all 3 stages.
Oh, that's coming. Especially since they've apparently incorporated that into Ryback's entrance now. He just comes out through the...
It's not like a tricked out ambulance that says like Ryback or personalized or anything. No, it's just an ambulance that they rent every night.
Oh, God. This is... at least with the stipulations, we look at the positives and saying guys like Alex Riley and Tyson Kidd and etc., the JTGs of the world, you're getting pay-per-view payouts. Good for you, gentlemen. We're happy for you. God bless you.
If you can get a shot or 2 in there, say they're from us.
Give them the old stiffer 1-2er. The match itself has the chance to not be bad because of things like a lumberjack match, a table match, an ambulance match. So they'll probably be able to get a little extreme here, if you will. But is there any way in the world that John Cena is not winning this match?
No, because he's going to be defending that title against Daniel Bryan in an upcoming pay-per-view.
God only knows who else are going to serve up to John Cena on a silver platter. And this, once again, first they served up The Rock to him on a silver platter at WrestleMania 29. Now they're serving up Ryback to him on a silver platter. Maybe after that it's going to be, like you said, might be Daniel Bryan. Then there's going to be other people too. It just is the ultimate personification of Vince's never-ending man love for John Cena and their obsession with trying to force this motherfucker down our throats, no matter what the cost, no matter whether we want it or not. It's almost like you want to employ reverse psychology at this point and say, the company loves him, we hate him, so maybe if we do start loving him, they will start hating him and de-pushing him. Like, when it comes to John Cena, it would almost be like they say, oh my God, now the internet even likes him. Oh, we're down the right track now.
Yep, we better just make this whole hour about John Cena.